caught cheating, it shouldn't be like this.
Well, maybe he should have thought of that before he was cheating.
The CEO of a billion-dollar business is in damage control after his affair with a colleague was exposed.
But the bigger thing people aren't talking about is how a CEO of a company should never be dating the head of HR.
The problem here is that Andy Byron is married to someone other than Kristen Cabot, who, again, the irony of her being head of HR, and he has 2 children.
This requires, to me, not 1, but 2 resignations.
So who handles it when HR is part of the problem?
This is more than just an affair. This is something that has been building for years. You have to think about it. The corruption of this, the head of a billion-dollar company, has the HR department in his back pocket.
I think cheating is an abomination, okay? And this man has a wife, he has children, these kids are gonna have to watch and see this. They don't look, I would be devastated if I was his wife.
Don't cheat on your wife, that makes you a scumbag. Let's just start there, full stop.
The way that this man embarrassed his wife so publicly, he should be ashamed and put in jail, and put this other one in jail too.
His wife has now deactivated her account. The wife later dropped her married name on her Facebook account.
Eagle-eyed observers online noted his wife has already changed her Facebook profile, removing her married name.
But apparently, this couple will not be fans of Coldplay for long.
They're both married, not for long.
So Coldplay hasn't made a single in years, and now they just made 2 last night.
Play stupid games, win stupid prizes.
What's going on with Kristen? What's going on with Kristen? Well, we finally do have an update.
The moment we have all been waiting for.
Welcome back to Tea Time with Tina. Okay, so the Coldplay kiss cam wasn't just awkward, it was catastrophic. What the world saw was a viral concert moment. What Kenneth C. Thornby saw was karma in HD. Because when your ex-wife, the self-styled corporate CEO hopper of HR compliance, gets caught cuddling her CEO in front of 65,000 people while both are married to other people, that's not just scandal. That's divine justice. And now Kenneth's silence, over. The receipts, loaded. And Kristin Cabot's carefully curated reputation is about to be vaporized.
I would pay to be a fly on the wall in the office.
This is pretty viral stuff. Or do we have to get HR involved? I mean, I know that HR was involved.
Let's set the stage. It all started with a stadium. July 16th, 2025, Coldplay's Jumbotron Song rolls. The camera lands on 2 executives awkwardly entangled like high schoolers who just got dared to kiss. It's Astronomer CEO Andy Byron and his chief people officer, Kristen Cabot, the queen of HR trash herself. Caught live on screen looking like a bad Tinder date. Chris Martin, Coldplay's frontman, and now accidental truth teller, jokes either they're having an affair or they're just really shy, except they were both married to other people.
Staggered by the pair's shameless and shameful behaviour.
Playing up at Coldplay and caught red-handed.
Either they're having an affair or they're just very shy.
Lead singer Chris Martin was right the first time. This was a secret affair, until it was shown on Kiss Cam to 65,000 people at Gillette Stadium in Boston. And their reactions said it all.
And what looked like a concert cringe-fest quickly detonated into a corporate nuclear bombshell. It took 17 minutes for the internet sleuths to identify the couple as Astronomer's CEO Andy Byron and the head of HR Kristin Cabot.
17 minutes. I just saw a video that said it was 17 minutes between the time the Coldplay concert footage hit the internet and those people being identified.
Who blew the whistle? The 2 executives caught on that now infamous Coldplay kiss cam were first identified on a TikTok account of someone who apparently works at the company. Oh my God, that looks like Astronomer CEO Andy Byron and Astronomer Chief People Officer Kristin Cabot.
Within 72 hours, Andy Byron was toast, resigned in disgrace.
The executive at the center of a kiss cam controversy is stepping down after online speculation about the viral moment.
Oh, look at these 2. All right, come on, you're okay? Oh, what? Either they're having an affair or they're just very shy.
That was the scene at a Coldplay concert in the Boston area on Wednesday. And it wasn't just singer Chris Martin trying to figure out why the couple tried to hide their faces when shown on the big screen. The internet also had its theories. The man was identified by online sleuths as Astronomer CEO Andy Byron. The tech company said he resigned and the board accepted.
Kristin Cabot tried to hang on, but after Slack messages leaked of employees mocking her zero-tolerance HR training videos, she disappeared faster than a non-disclosure agreement at an executive retreat.
The 52-year-old was seen for the first time since the scandal. The Daily Mail exclusive with the photo of her, wedding ring off, watering plants outside her $2.2 million New Hampshire home.
Astronomer's image imploded. Staff morale collapsed. The board launched an internal review. And by review, we mean, how the heck did HR become the problem? The entire company watched their chief people officer become a meme, and not the good kind. By the way, don't forget to like and subscribe because let's face it, I'm nothing without your support. Now back to the tea.
The moment we have all been waiting for.
Enter Kenneth C. Thornby, Kristin's ex-husband, divorced in 2022 after filing in 2018. Before he was known as the ex-husband with receipts, Kenneth C. Thornby was already making quiet moves in a completely different arena, the sportswear world. A longtime executive in the performance apparel industry, Thornby wasn't chasing clout, cameras, or clickbait. He was managing multi-million-dollar distribution deals and overseeing product launches that actually delivered. No scandals, no theatrics, just results. While Kristin Cabot was climbing the tech world's ladder with stilettos and LinkedIn jargon, Thornby was in the trenches of real business, the kind that requires discipline, consistency, and, ethics. And now, the guy who spent decades in sportswear might just be the one who pulls the thread that unravels her entire image. He's a man of few words, but apparently many files. He's not the type to go public. He doesn't have Instagram. He has integrity. While Kristin was hopping from boardrooms to bar tabs, Kenneth was raising their child and watching his ex-wife transform from ambitious to infamous. He paid child support. He stayed quiet. He took the high road, but then came Coldplay. And baby, now he's ready to speak. Kenneth says this isn't new, that Kristin had patterns, that during their marriage, she was more committed to her phone than to her family. Rumors say Andrew Cabot, yes, Privateer Rum CEO and Kristin's next husband, was already in the picture before the divorce ink dried. Was it cheating? Was it ambition? Let's just say you don't marry one CEO and bounce to another without some strategic networking. Sources say Kenneth never confronted her publicly because it wasn't worth the PR stunt. But privately, he's got files, alleged emails, timelines, possibly even photos. And now, those receipts could flip the whole narrative. A source close to Thornby post on Reddit says, I'm good friends with Ken, and one of the main reasons for the divorce was because Kristin couldn't keep her legs closed. Ken finally had enough and realized you can't turn a you-know-what into a housewife. I'm not surprised that this has happened. Kristin has a way with men, and what she wants, she always gets. There's no doubt in my mind she pursued Andy relentlessly until he gave in. Judging by the way Andy was holding her in his arms, she had him completely whipped. And unfortunately, it's gonna cost him everything he's worked for and his family. Let's talk resume fraud. Except this one's emotional. Kristin sold herself as an HR powerhouse, but insiders say her real skill was manipulating the narrative. She allegedly flattered her way into promotions, iced out competitors, and threw junior staff under the bus anytime they showed an ounce of independence. Her LinkedIn was spotless, but her workplace rep? Toxic, according to at least 3 former Astronomer employees, one of whom called her the Miranda Priestley of gaslighting. One exec even said, she's HR, but she's HR for herself.
Rich CEO of one of the largest tech companies in the world could have anyone, and he's banging his of all. This is why I think all HR positions are basically a joke and should be eliminated.
There's a photo of them, right? This is their little tech company. Too bad, They'll be a scumbag. And if you are a scumbag, then, well, I guess you deserve this.
He's the CEO of a company called Astronomer, and that is his chief people officer. Is that what we're calling HR now? That is so weird. Chief people officer, Kristen Cabot, C-A-B-O-T.
A completely useless position that is populated by women with insane inferiority complexes who get off, like I'm talking physically get off on exerting the tiny amount of power that they have on people.
HR is such trash, by the way. The entire business of HR, like every single HR department is just an absolute nightmare of people who are constantly being used to attack the best people in a company and then do stuff like this, right? On the side.
After staying quiet for years, Kenneth is allegedly filing new paperwork. Why? Because the Coldplay fiasco didn't just embarrass the company. It opened the floodgates on Kristin's carefully protected past. Insider leaks claim Kenneth's legal team is reviewing custody and financial arrangements based on character concerns and public incidents that affect co-parenting optics. In other words, that kiss cam might cost her more than a job. It could shake up her entire domestic foundation. Court insiders whisper about emails, receipts, and digital evidence that puts Kristin's timeline into question, both as a spouse and a parent. If you think this is just a workplace affair, think again. Andy Byron wasn't some random fling. He was the boss, the face of the company, and Kristin was the gatekeeper of ethics and people. And now, both are out. Not just fired, but disgraced.
But there is a thing, society loves to be mad at cheaters. Like, remember Scandival, the Vanderpump Rules saga? It was like the biggest story of 2023. The president of the United States at the time weighed in on it because people love to be mad when people are caught cheating. We just relate to it. It's just something that like brings society together. And finally, I do think that it involves a CEO and HR professional. Like, the definition of her job is to be like, by the way, don't do workplace romance. Like, that's one of her top things she's charged with. And he should be the main person knowing better.
Sleep your way to the top with your boss to get all your friends promoted and get you a nice fancy job title, then do not go to a Coldplay concert with him. Actually, you gotta be okay with going to an Applebee's. You gotta be okay with all your dates being at the Waffle House. So why are you at a high-profile concert with the man that you're having an affair with, who's the CEO of your company?
In all seriousness, who handles the HR violation when your CEO cheats with the head of HR and the other person at the Coldplay concert with them is also HR and already knew about the affair and apparently, according to the internet, just got promoted? Did she get promoted because she knew about the affair and kept it quiet? Who can say? But either way, there's so many HR violations in that Coldplay video. And I desperately want to know how this is going to be handled from an internal basis, given that HR were involved in the scandal. Like, HR are usually the people to sort out the scandal and protect the company. And yet they are part of why there is a huge liability for the company right now, because this is so public. We'd never heard of Astronomer as a company. And now we're crazily familiar, and I can't even imagine the board meetings that they're having right now in trying to figure it out, because the level of crisis of this, the fact that there's like tens of millions of views on that one video alone, and that's not even including the way that it's spread like wildfire across the entire internet.
So I'm in HR, and I'll tell you exactly what's happened with the CEO of Astronomer and the head of people, that they're having an affair and it's been found out. First off, she's already been scrubbed off the company website. But this is part of probably a very big investigation that is happening right now. Like, they have a PR crisis team just figuring out, all right, what do we say? What do we do? And, you know, obviously, there's going to be heads that are probably going to roll right now. They're going to find out who knew, what was said, were they doing this during company time?
And yet somehow the media is still running fluff pieces about a difficult moment for two executives. But what if this wasn't a moment? What if it was a pattern? Because when a CEO and HR chief both implode on camera, and one of them has an ex with a file folder, maybe it's time to rethink who's been telling the story all along. Kenneth C. Thornby isn't a TikTok star. He's not holding a press conference. He's not leaking text messages on Instagram stories. He's doing what actual grown-ups do, going through the legal system with calm, calculated precision. But don't mistake silence for weakness. He's not out to embarrass. He's out to expose. Because in a world of influencers and PR machines, sometimes the real story doesn't come from the stage. It comes from the sidelines. And Kenneth? He's been watching all along. And now, Kristin Cabot, once the queen of corporate HR, is finally being held accountable by the one person who always knew the truth. At the end of the day, Kristin Cabot wasn't taken down by a headline. She wasn't sabotaged by some media conspiracy or misunderstood tweet. No, she imploded under the weight of her own hypocrisy. She built a career on enforcing rules she couldn't follow, branding herself as the moral compass of every company she walked into. But behind the polished HR titles and boardroom buzzwords was someone playing a game of optics, connections, and survival through spin. And now, the mask slipped. The kiss cam caught it. And Kenneth C. Thornby, the man she discarded, the man who stayed silent, didn't have to say a word. The receipts said it all. This wasn't just about one scandal at a concert. This was a full circle reckoning, a long overdue reminder that behind every power couple PR fantasy, there might be a truth quietly waiting to be exposed. And as the internet moves on to the next headline, one thing's for sure. Kristin Cabot's brand of corporate manipulation won't be so easy to repackage the next time around. Because the truth, it always shows up. And sometimes it shows up with a spotlight, a stadium, and a kiss cam. Drop a comment below. Was Kristin Cabot's downfall well-deserved, or just the tip of the iceberg? Should Kenneth Thornby release even more receipts? And is the Coldplay kiss cam officially the greatest accidental expose of all time? Don't hold back. We're reading every single comment. And if you want to stay locked in as the story unfolds, make sure to hit the notification bell for more updates. Like the video and subscribe so you never miss the next scandal, twist, or savage takedown. You don't want to miss what's coming next. Thanks for watching, and if you enjoyed my content, feel free to check out some of my other videos on the top of the screen. Until next time, stay tuned, stay safe, and stay informed, only on Tea Time with Tina.